What is up, folks? We are back for another episode. We made it 2 weeks in a row. We're so back. We were gonna talk about the draft for this upcoming week and trying to predict what we thought was a good idea where everyone would be going. But we decided we are not smart enough to try and determine what other smart people are gonna do. So we're gonna leave that for next week's chat to talk about what everyone did do and see our likes and do not likes about that. Said this week we're going to talk about the Giants and Bengals trade. We're going to talk about Aubrey making a boatload of money for a kicker. And we're going to talk about ESPN being probably one of the worst televised hockey channels in the world. You want to start us off, Garrett?
Man, oh man, 2 weeks in a row. That's crazy. Hey, I'm going to defend us. We just don't have the resources or the facilities that these teams have for the draft. That's why we're not going to comment on it because they have the resources, the film,
I don't want to
and the
speculate who people are
knowledge.
going to get and just be way off. I mean, that's not.
I think that's the fun of it. You look at it and you're like, oh man, this is why I'm not in this role. Or you'd be like, oh man, I guess 9 out of 10 picks in a row. Maybe I should put in my resume.
Yeah, no.
No,
ESPN
that's a
only takes
pass.
idiots. Maybe we would get on
That's a
that.
pass. Dude, maybe I mean they're already trying to change the refs, dude. We could do it. We could do it. We could do some interchange. All right. First topic of the day. I think we should get into the big one, the big bad, because we have two topics on the NFL, so we'll save that. I think we should go into ESPN because that involves the NFL too, because it's a networking for all that. Tell us what you think, man. Tell us what you got some heavy thoughts on this, Mr. Isles. Lay it on us.
I don't know if you've been watching any of the Stanley Cup playoffs, but I have
Pretty
been
rough.
watching it religiously. The only time I don't have the game on is right now because Marissa forgot to turn it on before she sat down. So we're not watching it.
It's good. You need to focus, dude. People need to hear what
Um,
you have to say.
well, oh, geez, I don't even know where to start with them.
Some of the major ones out there, if you guys don't own TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, is they completely botched or didn't even, they were making jokes about not being able to pronounce a player's name. First off,
The
that's
goalie's name. Yeah.
like at least try. And if you can apologize saying like I don't know how to say this, if I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry, but this is what I'm gonna say it as. And that's cool that you tried, but you just made jokes about it? Come on.
The other one was the first night I was watching it, their feed for the crowd noises, I think it was with Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo,
I
because
want to say it
they
was
had
with
that
Buffalo.
comeback.
It was their crowd noises would be come out really fucking loud, and that was the good part. But then their announcers would start talking, and they'd mute the crowd so that you could hear the announcers, and you'd only hear the announcers, and then it would
Yep,
come back
that's
really
gay.
soft.
That's so
Like
stupid.
it just kept coming in and out. It's like, what are you doing? Playoff hockey, it's all about the stadiums are loud as shit. You get it with the NFL too. Those stadiums are 10 times louder in the playoffs than they are during the regular season, and you can't figure out your noise control. Like TNT does it great. You can barely hear their announcers, but their announcers are basically yelling to talk to you, and it
Yeah.
sounds great. It makes you feel the atmosphere. It's driving me nuts. And it's not just the playoffs. I've always hated ESPN. Like I absolutely despise them. And I get you were trying to when they went back to the ESPN, I get they were trying to bring in more views.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just ruined it.
It's Disney's fault.
It's so bad. What was the other one? She was
The
on the
one was
bench
it
talking to
was a
Tage
player
Thompson.
and she said he's had his whole career in Buffalo and that's not true at all.
He was drafted by St.
By
Louis
the
and
St.
played
Louis
in St.
Blues.
Louis. Yeah.
He played for a whole season.
Know
Even
your
like
stuff.
wasn't even that's just
It's
sad.
you want announcers that you just feel like you've hired people off the street that don't know what they're
Yeah.
talking about.
The whole
It
point
doesn't
of an
even feel
announcer on any sport, it's not
know your
to
sport.
it's not to like read the whole freaking book to you, but it's to digest what is happening and describe it to the consumer or the viewer.
Hmm.
Not it, you're supposed to take the game and just talk about it as a professional. You don't have to be like you haven't played it your whole life, but you should be around it. You should know the terminology, what everything means, and be able to just like describe it to someone that really only watches it like sometimes, or they know what's going on, they don't know what's happening. Like that's what your job is. It's to talk about the game.
And you would think PK being
Yeah, as a
from being
player.
in the league would know what he's talking about. He wears fake glasses and everyone knows they're fake and he wears silly outfits and it's just like
He's a
what
tennis shoe wearer too.
I hate it. I everything to do with ESPN on the NHL is the worst broadcast. It is amateur. It is so bad.
What the heck? Oh, I'm sorry. Something just glitched out on here. I agree. I would on what's really sad is it's not only the fact that, but if you really think about it, it shows that ESPN just doesn't put any love or support into specifically hockey. It just shows it right there. They put all this money in, and I'm just gonna throw it out. They put all this money into like broadcasting for the NFL and then like other sports like baseball and all that stuff. But then
Like I
like
wish we could listen to TNT every night. They're on right now. Biz is on, and I just the way they talk about it and they focus on the game at hand. ESPN the other night because they're covering, and I mean, it's their fault, but it's not their fault at the same time. But because you have the NBA playoffs and the hockey playoffs at the same time,
here they go back and
they're
forth.
covering both. So we didn't even. It was a game-winning goal the other night. We didn't even get to see like there was no post-game coverage or anything. As soon as that goal went in, it switched over to the NBA playoffs. Like we don't hockey. Your hockey fans that are watching this, I would say I'm going to say about roughly 60% of us, the majority of hockey fans, don't care about the NBA playoffs as much as we do. We want to see the post-game interviews. And it's frustrating because like it was a great game and you just immediately switch over and then you can't watch it anywhere until Sports Center the next day. And Sports Center barely covers it.
They do like segments that don't even that, they're pretty garbage.
The only thing that have enjoyed that came out of the ESPN deal is I can watch the Red Wings on the ESPN map or app whenever the games aren't on a national televised
Televised broadcast.
broadcast. Yep, that's the only thing I get to watch. I get to watch the Detroit Red Wings announcers, so Mickey and all them. I get to listen to what they have to say. I don't have to listen to the ESPN guys, and it's great. That's the only benefit because you can't really do that with anything else. Even when you're watching football, the NFL, you don't get to watch the hometown broadcast. You're watching
The whole thing.
the the national broadcast, whoever's covering that game. So,
Yeah.
and I get it, but that's the only thing that I've enjoyed ESPN has done for the NHL. It's being able to watch it wherever.
It is nice because I remember a time it was really hard to get those
Frustrating.
games.
Yeah, it's always been. I used to watch it on
Did
what
you
is the
pirate
name?
it?
Yeah,
Yeah, you'd pirate.
unfortunately
It was
legally.
I remember it. I remember we'd have to do some sketchy stuff to get some
Stream
of those
East.
games.
Yeah, Stream East. Used to watch on Stream East. But hey, I appreciate that. That's the only thing. But they need to figure out their commentators. I
Yeah, they need to do
fire the whole
some.
crew, start over.
Yeah, they need to move some people out and move some people in
I
that
get
qualify.
I get Disney is your parent company. Stop acting like it. Get rid of the PG crap. Start
It's
acting like a
hockey.
hockey broadcast.
There's
Yep.
fights in hockey, like people
That's
spitting on people. Like
they haven't really cut it off for the playoffs because it's more physical and you kind of can't get away from that. But the in the regular season, they cut away from the fights
yeah, and they'll
whenever
always
it's
just
on the
shoot to a
ESPN
commercial or
broadcast. Yeah.
something, which that sucks. Like that's how a lot of people get into watching hockey. Actually, is to watch the fights and like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
A sport that actually allows fights. That's kind of cool than like MMA or wrestling or something like that. That's cool. That's what got me into it back in the
I
day.
just
I'm like, whoa.
it's I and I pretty sure the ESPN only covers like the first two rounds, and because the games get reduced, it goes down to ABC. It goes down to NBC, TNT, and all those channels. So we don't have to deal with them as much. So that's nice. But just the fact that they have any coverage is obnoxious. I wish we could go back. One thing I don't think people are talking about as much, and I'm pretty sure I haven't noticed it too much, but I think they're not doing the ads originally, like the early 2000s up until a couple years ago, pre-COVID. They always wrote Stanley Cup Playoffs right under the blue line,
Yeah.
and they've been putting ads under the blue line. I think they've reduced the ad time when you see that
Oh,
because
so
the
it's not showing
majority
you
of
as
the
much?
time, yeah, the majority of the time I'm seeing the Stanley Cup playoff logo where it used to be at. Right. It's a big plaster right
That's
under,
good.
and each team gets it. I think it's put on the ice for the teams whenever they're in it, but I don't know if when you're on the televised, they I don't know how they do it, but they put those ads on there like they do
Yeah.
the boards.
Yeah. They do
So
like
you only
almost
see
like
it
the
on
green
TV.
screen style
Yeah.
thing.
They've been showing the paint more, which is nice. I
That's cool.
appreciate that. And I know that's just all over the NHL coverage. That's not just ESPN.
That's good. That's always
One of
good.
my favorite players right now, which is making me want Philadelphia to win, Martone.
I'll
Straight out of
never
Michigan State. 4 weeks in, he is killing it.
I will never root for a Philadelphia team.
Well, they have
Just
oh
in
well
general.
in my bracket I picked Pittsburgh to win, but I'm
Yeah,
kind of hoping
I
the
picked Pittsburgh to
Flyers win.
win, but I honestly only because I didn't think the Flyers would do good, but I don't know,
Hoping
dude.
I think
I
everyone has
don't know.
Pittsburgh winning, so it wouldn't hurt if it
Yeah,
doesn't hurt anyone if the
no.
only one that I would guess has Philadelphia going would be Dom because he
He did
doesn't know
random.
anything. Yeah,
He random generated it.
yeah. So
Talks all that smack and he's like, I auto generated it. It's like, geez, guy. He's talking to his non-present wife, if you
telling me
can
my
see on
sugars are
YouTube.
going up. Telling me my
Oh,
sugars are going up. Yeah,
that's not good, dude. What do you got in your
they've been
fucking Owalu over there?
no. It's I stopped taking that medicine because it was too expensive because insurance didn't cover it,
Yeah,
and it is really like it used to help with my sugars, and now that I'm off it, my sugars are
going
uncontrollable again.
all over the railroads.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know what's
gonna.
something we definitely forgot to put on the list to talk about was like, because we said this in the last podcast that we talk about like what we've been doing for the last like year or two.
They don't care.
They don't. They don't care. They just want to know our
Did you
stupid
look? We
opinions.
asked people to comment. Did you look to see if there are any
I haven't
comments?
looked yet. I haven't looked yet. I'm too nervous. Like, well, because I looked at the Spotify app thing, the creators app, not the app on my laptop,
Mhm.
and I'm not even signed in anymore. That's fucked. It's stupid. And like I was looking at our last one that we made, like the very last one before last week's, and it was like not good.
No, I don't even remember what we were
I
talking
can't
about
remember.
it.
I can't remember either.
But I think it's once we get back in the groove of things, people will come back. We just haven't been in a groove.
Oh, I can't
Once
look at that
because we
one.
really started, we really picking up listeners towards the end of it, and everything happened with everybody,
Who's
so we
everybody?
stopped.
Do.
All three of us.
Oh, all right.
I was having Coop was coming along for me.
Who's Coop? I don't know who that
Yeah,
guy
the
is.
house doesn't. The fans don't know who
That's
Coop are, but
that's my godson, dude.
Coop
And
was coming
ladies,
along.
that's my godson.
Z was getting into a relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell you were doing. Something had to have been going on for you, but
No, I'm just the guy that shows up when people show up and they say don't come, I don't come.
anyways, fuck ESPN. Absolutely hate them. Get rid of them, NHL. No one's they won't listen to me, but I hope if enough voices come along, something gets done about it.
I guarantee you, like, there's already been like 10 people that are like major influencers have been speaking about it. Like, Like,
Mhm.
what's funny about ESPN, it's honestly a nice thing. They're also like one of those companies that will look at people who post about it, and if there's enough trend on it, like they'll look into it. I don't know if they'll change, but they'll at least look into it. That's something I respect about them is they'll always look into something that's going on, and if there's enough people, like numbers matter, um, they'll look into it, see if they make a change. But most of the time they won't. But at least they look into it.
Yeah,
Is
we'll
that all you
see.
have to say about ESPN, dude? What else
I
do you
mean,
got to
unless
say
you
about
got,
them?
I brought up the three main
I
issues that I've
think
had with them so far.
I
Unless you got something you want to add to it.
I I grew up watching ESPN only for like football and checking like stuff. I've had the app and I always remember the intro to it. It's no 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 and like getting busted in high school for having my volume on. Like I
I think they're
missed
good. They're good at getting.
yeah.
I again, I don't. I said it. They're good at getting the viewers.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna talk about it, your broadcasters need to know what the fuck they're
Yeah.
doing.
Like
At this
it's
rate,
just
at my current opinion of it, fire everyone that's on the NHL coverage. Everyone.
yeah.
The on ice broadcasters, the panel in the studio, get rid of all of them and you gotta just
It looks like
but it's
what's bad is it looks like just everyone talking. It looks like they only put like PK, like that's the only guy I could think of that they like actually
the
considered. Everyone
I
else
just
just
had
looks
this
like they just threw in
conversation.
there.
Just had a conversation with Marissa. The other guy who stands next to PK is an ex-hockey player, and I always forget about his name. Um, I don't know. Can't remember his name. Drawing a blank right now, but he's another ex-hockey player. But I don't mind. Like he just doesn't talk enough for me. It's always PK and the other guy, and they're obnoxious. And it's
Just not very.
they
They're
have
just not
they have
very.
one game crew. They have one game crew that's pretty good, and that's it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I can't. I don't know, but
he's
that's
drawing.
all I'm
He's
gonna say
drawing up
on that.
blanks, folks. So moving on now. Moving on. What are your thoughts on Aubrey getting
I fucking love it.
Henrik Lundqvist.
uh, 28
Marissa's
million?
talking
Isn't
in the
it?
background. She's trying to get some airtime without being on the air.
Stupid. I'm not gonna give it to her. I'm gonna fucking put quacky noises over her,
No, I'm happy for him. Get the kicker some money.
dude.
I've
I
drafted him
mean,
3 years in a row
yeah,
in fantasy, and I've gone to the championship 3 years in a row. And I'm not saying it's Aubrey, but he's the only consistent I have
yeah.
because
He
I
is
didn't have Josh Allen the second year. I
he's a
don't remember who
killer.
I had the second year, and I didn't finish with Josh Allen last year. I finished with Drake May.
Yeah. He's a
So
good
my
kicker.
only
He's very
consistence
consistent.
is Aubrey. I'm happy.
What
I'm
I
not a
like,
Dallas fan. Absolutely not a big Dallas boy, but
the
I'm happy
reason
for
he
him.
is so good in fantasy is because he is the most consistent and accurate 50 plus yard kicker.
And he's used a lot.
He kicks so many fucking 50 yarders that like it like gives you like four extra points in fantasy.
I scored like 20 plus points at
Yeah,
least
like he
three
gets a
games
ton
last
of
year.
points.
It's like having an extra player out there.
I don't like Jerry Jones, but man, does
No.
he
Yep.
is he
His
staying away
kicker.
from the kicker? I like that dude. When he's leaving his kicker alone,
They're
not
not
getting in
giving
his head.
Pickens a long-term contract.
That's good, dude. I think
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but like him and CD Lamb together, man, they're
Scary.
causing some ruckus on and off the field. They are ruckering it up. Them
Look at that. I
boys,
look up and
them.
Martone's already got his fist in someone's face. Love it.
Jeez Louise.
No, it is I'm I think that's probably one of the only well, I don't mind Ferguson too. Their tight end, he's pretty cool. But
He's a good guy. He's a baller.
he's probably my favorite player on Dallas is Aubrey. And maybe it's because I use him every year in fantasy. And
Yeah.
I might have to take him earlier on this year, which could suck. but I'm usually the first or second person to take kickers in fantasy, so I always end up with him. I have a feeling that won't be the choice this year. I feel like people have caught on that I take kickers so early.
I guarantee you they won't even notice.
The one Logan's always trying to get him. She would trade an arm and a leg for him.
She will trade anybody for the whole
It's
Dallas
awesome.
lineup,
It's
the whole
awesome.
Dallas team.
Yep.
She'll do it. I remember one year I had CD Lamb and she's like, trade me. I was like, no. She's like, I'll throw this in. I said, no. What about this? And I would shoot her a fucking counter trade and she'd be like, no. And I was like, then there's no trade. You're not giving me two
I
crappy receiver twos for a receiver one.
I enjoy fantasy, but I also don't like sitting on my ass during the year, and I feel like I have to pull teeth to get everyone to make trades. And when I make a trade, it's like a 3 or 4 team trade, and I love it. I get people. I've done that 2 years now. I think the first year was Marissa, Dom, Christian, and me, and then last year it was me, Z, and Logan. Maybe
Yeah, because this will be our fourth year.
it'll be a fourth year. I don't think I made a huge move in the first year, but the last 2 years.
First year, we honestly just, it was a practice year and we literally had
Nah, first year counted. First year counted.
the
Whee!
craziest point system. It's everybody knows it that it didn't count, and it's the only guy
Counted.
that counted it.
3 years in the playoffs. Won the first year. Oh,
Yeah,
not the playoffs. 3 years in the championship.
yeah, he won practice year, and then when
Consistently up there.
the years that matter, he lost to a guy that drafted two kickers.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
Lost to a guy that
Drafted
drafted
three
two
kickers.
kickers.
Three
Yeah,
kickers. He
three
had three.
kickers. Lost to him, and then this last year lost
Okay, but to
to.
be fair, he beat everyone.
I.
I at least got to the championship game against him.
That's fine.
And then I lost to Marissa this year. Reading a
Mm-hmm.
household of winners over here.
She's the only winner.
I won. I won.
No, you didn't win.
First year, big
You're
dog.
the
Big
only
winner.
guy that counted. You even took
Big winner.
Marissa's credit card and bought your own trophy.
Big winner. Big old W over on this side of the house.
Yeah,
You you wish you had is Maddie gonna play with us this year?
probably not. If we add her, we have to add another one after that. Like, you know that,
We're
right?
adding Riley.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
Keep adding people, and it's just not
it's fun. Get
fun. I don't
bigger
think it's
leagues, dude.
fun.
You get
I
stressed because you don't know how to
I
draft.
don't think it's stressful. I just don't think it's fun when you start adding like a shit
Oh,
ton of
it's so much
people.
more fun. I drafted Drake May last year, who turned in my starting quarterback, who outperformed everyone. And I drafted what was the rookie I drafted the year before that? I've had 2 years of good rookie draft classes.
Yeah, I love you got a lot of time for research.
Yeah, I do. I sat my ass just researching.
You pull up what that was back when you had YouTube TV and you would sit on in the NFL fantasy draft, whatever, and you just sit there all morning and
I
watch the
watched that
kids.
in the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, watched that in the morning, and then I sit on my phone in the afternoon just looking at shit.
Yeah.
I do the
Good
research.
for
I put
you,
in the time, dude.
dude. Dude, it's good for you.
I love it. I can't wait for our draft. We'll do a draft podcast, and maybe if Maddie's in it, we'll bring the girls on. Talk about Maddie's first draft, Marissa's winning year, see if she can go back and repeat.
I don't know if she'll want to do it. She probably won't.
Maddie?
Probably not. Probably won't want to do fantasy. She likes doing the brackets. That's fun. But fantasy, she probably
She
won't.
hasn't done a single bracket with us.
She did the Masters one, and then
Oh, that's right.
I'm pretty sure she did March Madness.
Did she?
I think
She did because
she's
her
definitely,
no,
yeah,
it was Masters because it was her and Marissa,
yeah.
and then it was March Madness was Marissa and Dom.
I'm pretty sure she's done one like a
Get this,
year or so
Marissa today
ago.
goes, if I would have done the lore bracket, I would have won. It's like, but you didn't do it. I told you to do it like 3 or 4 times. You didn't do it. There's no what ifs in this house. You
Yeah,
didn't do it.
what if I picked all the correct teams? I should have done it. What if? Yeah, that's what? That's dumb.
Okay, moving on to our next segment, another football related, so we might fall back into fantasy talk here.
It's always in fantasy,
How
dude. It's
fucking, excuse my language, how stupid are the Bengals?
dude, they're the smartest team out there. They got JoJo at the helm.
I get they're in a win now mentality, but you had Trey Hendrickson last year, and his defense did not help you win now. You add one guy, you're basically substituting Trey Hendrickson. That does not fix your defense.
And you're gonna have to
And
pay him too. You're gonna
you
have to pay him.
you gave away your 10th draft pick to the Giants, who now has 5 and 10, who were good last year until everyone got hurt. I feel like people forget that. The Giants, I feel like, were a
Like
solid team.
they have a solid defensive line and they have a solid young offense.
They didn't play
Jackson
what's his
Dart, dude.
fucking Dart the
Jackson
beginning of the
Dart,
year,
dude.
which I understand they used him in the middle of the year and he was balling out, and him and Scadaboo were a problem.
Yeah.
I feel like second year, him and Scadaboo they're playing
They're gonna
all
be
year now.
dangerous, dude. They're
Yep,
gonna be dangerous.
dangerous team.
It's
Uh
I think it I why I think
it doesn't
it's
affect me too much because it's not the same division, but
it definitely
it
affects
could be a problem.
the
It could be a
NFC is
problem for
affected.
I don't think I'm more worried about the North. I'm not worried about
See, that's where they get you, dude. I if we're being honest, like you should always be worried when someone has more like when they have a solid team and they just need some key players. Like
I
that's when you
don't
start
being the
worrying.
Lions, don't wor I have to get out of the
Yeah.
North first. The Bears, they
Yeah.
showed promise last year. I don't think they're as good as everyone makes them out to be, but we were shit last year. And the Vikings had an off year. I don't think the Vikings are going to have an off year again.
No.
I don't think we're going to have an off year again. I think the I think the Packers drop because of they've lost I want to say two receivers. Two of their top receivers are gone. And the Bears are the Bears. So
Who made the playoffs?
lost in the first round.
Playoffs are playoffs, dude. Sitting
Crosby
at home on
scored.
the couch is not cool.
Boo. Ah, just kidding. Crosby got an assist. Even worse. No,
Crazy.
I'm excited for the football season to start out.
I'm excited too. It's a good situation to just sit down and watch. Even if you suck, it's still fun to
Well,
watch.
it sucks because the Red Wings had such a great year going on, and then they blew themselves up. Absolutely shot themselves in the foot. Maybe not so much as not their fault, but like Larkin got hurt, and
After he won a medal, gold
then we
medal.
dra yeah, good for him. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Good for him. I'm
Hey,
happy for him.
I'm
But
happy he got something out of playing for the Red Wings.
then we traded for Perron, which wouldn't have been a problem. I
Well,
think we
yeah.
would have been fine. But then Larkin getting hurt and trading a hurt player fucking
Screwed.
sucked.
I was
And we
about to
had a
say that
couple other guys.
screws the lines up, dude.
So we got, I'm not a huge baseball fan because I think it's just washing paint dry. It's rough,
I won't even talk about baseball.
but I don't mind the Tigers. I always support the Tigers. If they're doing well, I'll tune in, see what's going on.
Yeah, if they suck, he doesn't want
But
nothing to do
yeah,
with them.
and I know they're
He's a
good right
ride or
now.
die.
I know they're good right now, but it feels like for me personally, my sports season is pretty much over. The Masters is done, and I'm just sitting around. I'm watching playoff hockey, but again, it's not none of my teams. Yes, these. Excuse me. I mean, I link myself to like two or three teams in the playoffs, and I try to ride or die those teams for as long as I can. But if either one of
Good
those teams
choice.
falls out, or all three of those teams fall, then I don't care about the playoffs anymore.
I just root
And
against the
then
team Marissa's rooting for.
and then it's just well, we always do like watch parties and stuff. It's tough to do a watch party for the Stanley Cup playoffs because
Yeah.
it's a
So
best
many
of
fucking
series.
games.
Yeah, you never know when the last game is going to be.
My favorite thing to do is to root for the Maple Leafs to get out of the first and
Well,
second
they're not even
round.
in it. They're
Yeah,
not
that's what
even
I'm
in it.
saying. Like, it's not even a fun year because I always I'm like, man, you could do it. This could be your year. And then Austin Matthews sucks.
But pretty much have nothing all summer at this point. I'm pretty much done with sports till football starts back up.
September, baby.
Yeah, so far away.
I know, dude.
Not even because hockey starts in October. So as long as I just have to wait around till October, but it's a long wait.
It's a lot of fill in the gaps of what you need to watch. Because now this is the time to pick shows, and a lot of shows aren't coming out.
I'm ready for the new Ted Lasso season.
I know, dude. I'm
I just
excited.
rewatched the whole show again. Just finished that today.
Yeah,
So good. I've watched it 4 times now. Fucking
I've only
love Ted
watched it
Lasso.
once, one and done.
So good. I'm
I
I'm
am
usually like
not
that one
a
and done, but
fan.
I love Ted Lasso so much.
I'm just not a fan of rewatching shows.
It's one of my favorites. It probably is my favorite. I could probably put that as my favorite show ever.
100% would be mine. I love Ted Lasso. I just don't
And
watch
it
rewatch shows.
I think what it makes it one of my favorites is it's short and sweet.
Yeah.
3 seasons, the episodes, they didn't start off long. They definitely got long at the end, but like short and sweet. It was nice. It was fun.
What I like about the show is that like it's all about him going to play like coach Richmond a soccer team, and we hardly ever see them play soccer like that. And that's how good the show is. Like you don't even need to see them play soccer. Like
Nope.
it's
You have
that
the
good.
storyline of the
Yeah.
soccer and they tell you it's almost like Blue Mountain State. It was a
Yeah, dude.
football show, but you never
Yeah.
watched them play
It
football.
has enough drama, suspense, happiness, sadness, depression, and
And they just
anger.
dab the sport in it
Yeah, they
enough to
just
keep you interested about their
are
story,
like,
about
oh,
who
maybe we'll see a whole game. And then there'll be like 3 episodes later, they're
they've played like 20 games. You're like, holy
yeah, and
shit,
you're like,
what?
what the hell? Probably my favorite scene if when they talk about actual soccer is when Ted is going over the leagues, the stages of the leagues, and he's like, "This just don't make no sense." Cracks
Honestly,
me
if you're
up.
talking about, I love the way those leagues are set up. I
Yeah,
wish, especially with when my teams are doing bad, like the Red Wings and the fucking Lions, when they used to be real bad. When those teams are doing bad, it's like, yeah, let's fucking relegate these guys.
yeah. Let's
Send
get
them
them the
back to
fuck out of
college.
here. Like, get them out of here. It's funny when they relegate. That show's so good.
It does it, but they're right. It does give the end of the season meaning because when I'm
Yeah,
watching football, some of these teams are out by week 7,
yeah. And
sometimes
they're
earlier,
just playing.
going through the moves, and they
And
suck.
you can tell the players are not going hard because they don't want to get hurt, like
Mhm.
a season-ending injury, and then
They
yeah,
already know they're out, and
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
why the fuck are we trying?
I hate that shit. I hate that. Like, Kansas City
And I
this
feel
year,
like
fucking hated it. Fucking hated it. When we lost,
it's gonna be another rough year for you. You gotta
I don't
hope
think it'll be rough. I don't
You
think it'll
gotta
be as
hope
rough as
Fields
this
is put
last
together.
year. I don't think it'll be as rough as last year. Last year,
How long do you think Mahomes is gonna be out for?
I think
He's
it'll
got to be out for 3 or 4 weeks at
I
least.
don't think so. I don't think
You think
so.
he's you think
I
he'll
think he
push it to come
plays
back
week
before
three.
then?
I bet you he does, dude.
Week 3.
I bet you he does.
That's tough. That's a tough hope.
It's not a hope. I'm pretty sure he's coming back week three. There's
That's
no doubt in my
crazy.
mind. Like if he's any longer,
I
I'm
I'm a
suing.
big Casey hater,
Yeah, that's why I don't
but
like you.
I can see a big problem coming because he is a mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
I hope for your sake this doesn't hurt his
I
mobility.
hate how you say you're a Casey hater. It's like the stupidest
I
reasons
hate it.
too.
I hate Casey, dude.
It's crazy, dude. It's just crazy.
It's
I don't like
not
Detroit,
crazy.
never have, and I'm gonna tell you
I hate him.
secretly, I root against them when any team plays
Hate
them.
Casey.
But I'm not openly like
Abs
making you feel
every
like
time,
shit for them. It's
every
crazy.
time I can take a
I'll
dig
never
at him.
let you talk right now because this is my time to shine. Like it's just crazy the amount of hate you give them. It's crazy. It makes no sense on just
Makes
the
perfect
shots you
sense.
throw. It makes
No,
zero sense the
perfect
shots you
sense.
throw.
Perfect sense.
Everybody, he will throw the most stupidest comment. Like today, he said, "Oh," or the other night, he was like, "Oh, Josh Allen's way better than Patty Fatty." It's crazy that fucking Buffalo lost that playoff game. He shows
I
up,
gave a
does all
reason.
that shit, and they
I gave a
lost.
reason. Gave a
Yeah,
reason. I said,
shows up, and I saw a fucking funny video about that. They're like Josh Allen doing the same things when a team's in a playoff for Buffalo, and he does all that cool stuff, and then it shows like four goals they scored on Buffalo.
"Hey, it
Made me
sucks
laugh.
to suck, dude. I'm sorry that your quarterback's not as loving and as lovable as Josh Allen or Jared
Yeah,
Goff.
you're right, dude. Jared Goff is
I'm
so
sorry the
loved,
only people who like
so loved, dude.
Patrick
They
Mahomes are KC fans.
his whole team traded him away, and after they traded him away, they won a Super Bowl for Jared
You're
Goff.
salty.
I'm not salty.
You
I'm
know
not
who you
mad.
remind me of? You
We have
remind me of
so
Marissa
many.
and Dom. You
It's okay.
support cheaters.
We have rings, and that's great. You haven't even been to the game yet. When you get to the game and you can play in it, I will respect Detroit. You guys are
Uh,
always saying everybody versus Detroit. That's
we're
great.
champs of the
Good
North.
job.
It is. It
Champs,
is
yeah.
everyone just versus Detroit.
It's everybody versus Detroit, and that's a shitty mindset.
It is. It's
Shitty.
worked for us. It's worked for us.
It hasn't. You haven't gotten nowhere with it.
We've gotten multiple places and we lost
Yeah.
to the 49ers
Yeah.
because Reynolds is ass.
Yeah. Okay. Honestly,
Salty. He's just salty. I'm
I'm
calling
not
you out
mad
in
at
front of
all.
everyone, in
No,
front of our
I
two
just it
viewers.
makes zero sense why you have so much hate. And I
It
guarantee
doesn't
you
make
wouldn't
zero
have as
sense.
much hate
Who are your
if
two
I didn't like
viewers?
the team.
Maddie and you.
It's
I don't
ourselves.
know
It's
him.
ourselves. What are you talking about? We watch our own videos.
I didn't even watch the YouTube one because I wasn't going to listen to it again. I felt like last week's was kind of meh. I feel like this week's a little bit better.
It's a little bit better, yeah. Nothing but love for Detroit. Nothing but
Nah, fuck
hate from
Kansas
Jack
City.
from KC. He's a piece of shit,
Hate
and
them all.
that's fine. That's fine. I don't need
Kansas
you to
City
like him.
sucks.
It's my team. That's why I'm proud to show my background. Jack won't even show his background.
Your dad can't even support Casey. He supports the
My
49ers,
dad
dude.
is
He
alive
jumped
and
ship.
thriving. My
Jump
dad is
ship.
alive and thriving.
I'm not even going to go there because I don't think the internet needs to know
My dad's alive
how
and
much of a
thriving.
bully you're being right now.
My dad's alive and thriving.
Bully
Why won't
McPhee
you
over
say
here.
that? Why won't you say that?
Because you
You want
killed my
to
dad,
you
dude.
want to hear
You
something
hit
that's
him with a
crazy
car
about my
and you
dad
killed him.
today? You know what's crazy about my dad is he's in Oklahoma City right now and
I
he
bet you
fucked up
called you.
his Can you let me talk? You've been interrupting me all night. But
I'm going to keep interrupting you.
he was in the emergency room since like 10 o'clock last night and he got out at like 6 a.m. this morning. He woke up and he couldn't see out of his like right or left one of the eyes. I can't remember which eye he said it was. But he sent me this photo and it looked like an alien's like private parts. Like there was because they sprayed the green stuff in it to take a photo. I'm not gonna send it to you. I'll show it to you this weekend. It blew me away. I was so grossed
Why do
out.
you know what alien private parts look like, Garrett?
Dude, just wait till you see it. You're
What are
gonna
you
say, "Oh,
watching
this
on the
remind."
internet?
Dude, don't say this. You have a Crunchyroll account. You have the Crunchyroll account.
What are you watching over there on
This
your
guy's setting
private
me up for
browser?
failure. This private browser, dude. I have my own phone plan. I don't need to be on the private. No, it was pretty gross looking. Like his eye had like all this that fluid they put in there to take a photo of it, and he had it all like spread open. I was like, ugh, why did you send me this? He's like, "Ugh, I scratched my eye. Fucking insane. It's just crazy how when you get old like that, sorry dad, love you. I probably don't even listen to this. You just scratch your eye one time, and now you can't see out of it.
Said it in the chat earlier. I think my resting state is a pain tolerance of like a 4.
What?
Yeah, did you not read it in the group chat
I
earlier? We were
saw
talking
that,
about
but like I was reading that and I was just wanting to say like there's no
resting.
way it's only been since high school you went to the doctor. I know
Yeah,
you're a diabetic doctor, you
yeah, that
liar.
doesn't. Yeah, no,
It
diabetic doctor
counts,
doesn't count.
dude. It's a
They don't.
doctor.
They
It's
don't
a
check.
doctor. You didn't say
Mm-mm.
it was like any
No,
specific
no.
doctor. You
You're just being
said
an ass
I
trying to get under
haven't
my
been
skin.
to a doctor.
You were
You're
just
getting it's
trying to be an
getting you, dude.
ass.
YouTube's
No,
gonna see it. They can see you festering and boiling.
you were trying to be an ass. That's why I ignored you.
I like it how no one added on to that. They're like, I've been to a doctor. It's a diabetic doctor. Doesn't
Yeah,
count.
because everyone
It's
was
like,
on the
fuck.
same stage as me. You were the only one.
If you're a diabetic doctor out there, you don't count. You don't count. That's what he's saying. You don't count.
My overall health, they do not check my overall health.
What was the last guy? Wasn't because there was a dude you had before. Didn't he retire or something? Because
Yeah,
you have
he
a
was
chick now,
mean.
don't you? He's like
He,
really mean to you.
he was a mean dude.
He's like he, he- I remember taking you one of his doctor's appointments and you came out crying.
Yeah, he
He
made me
didn't
cry
cry, Chad. He
uh
didn't cry.
he
He
made me
didn't
feel like
cry.
crying
Yeah,
every
he was a douche.
yeah.
Sorry my French, but he was a douche.
He was an asshole.
He wouldn't do nothing. He would honestly, I don't even know why you went to that guy. He did nothing. All he did was
Because
he basically
that's when I started
roasted you.
caring about my disease again. And I it wasn't even me, it was Marissa found him for me because she wanted me to take care of myself. And he was the worst endo ever.
He was so mean. He was like
Yeah.
he like verbally abused you all the time.
He didn't care. He came in, checked my A1C and said, "All right, later." It's like, "All righty."
Yeah,
And
fuck.
he would always say, "You're gonna die." It's basically all how that conversation went. It was a
Yeah.
5 minute conversation.
I think he'd only be back there for 20 minutes and 10 of those minutes were waiting on like the initial like nurse lady to talk to him. And then 5 minutes was with the doctor and then 5 minutes was walking
Walking
back.
out, cleaning my tears.
That's why we get drunk. That guy right there. Thanks, man, for making my friend a party house.
Honestly, every time after going in, we're pretty sure we got pretty
Pretty sure
fucked up.
we'd play Call of Duty or something and just get trashed on Twisted Teas or something. We'd have two cases, a case to ourselves.
I can't drink Twisted Teas anymore.
Dude, so like I can drink them, but the next day I feel
Hurts. My
horrible.
stomach, my
Horrible.
stomach is like a fucking swamp.
Yeah. I wonder if the light ones are any better. I've never had the light ones where they're light
Not even
sugar.
gonna try.
Guarantee they suck. They're just loaded
Staying
with
away.
crap. They hurt.
Staying away.
They don't even go down good anymore. They used to be so tasty and delicious.
You
Now,
drink a whole case to yourself one night. We said we're having a bonfire when you get home from work. You better catch up, and you drank a whole case of Twisted.
he told me we're having a bonfire, we're gonna have a good time. I'm 5 or 6 brewskis in on this Twisted Tea box. You gotta pick up your own box and you gotta catch up. I caught up and then some. We partied. I could slam Twisted Teas. Like it would not phase me. Like I could slam them. That was that night I climbed that fucked up tree and almost fucking broke my neck trying to get out of it because I had those shitty shoes on.
Good times. I'm excited. That's Marissa and I are excited to come down to St. Louis, but I think the biggest part for me is just being like Dom and Brendan are great. Love you guys if you listen to this, but
Love
we
you
don't
guys.
hang out enough. And I feel like I've invited them. I said we should go to the Hammers at the bar down here. I haven't heard anything
I
about
saw
that
that.
since
Yeah,
I
I saw that. That
recommended
was
it.
in the group chat. Man.
And they're great. They watch the dogs when we need them to, and they're awesome guys. But like we just out of like game nights and whatnot, we don't really hang out. So
I just need you to say
it's
who
okay.
hangs out with you a lot more. Just tell me.
You have no friends, so
Yeah, I honestly,
you're like me, dude.
I
You're just
can't,
like me.
I can't argue. Like the opposite thing is Madeline's not like Marissa. So like, I hang out with Madeline's. This is my friend group. It's my friend group straight up. Like Brendan, I consider a friend. I've gone golfing twice with him.
I like
One
Brendan.
separate. Yeah, Brendan's cool. I like him. If you're listening to this, Brendan,
Different
because he's
Brendans. We have a Brendan up
yeah,
here and a
yeah,
Brendan down there.
yeah.
Two different Brendans.
Brendan's cool. He
I like both of them.
he'll actually listen to the podcast when I told him we got it back up and running, and he'll listen to some of them.
Brendan,
But
if you're
like
listening to this, we're not listening to your music again this year. Man advantage.
yeah, dude. Like
I love your music. I
no, he
listen
doesn't.
to that.
No, he doesn't.
No,
If he loved
listen
it,
to
he
me.
wouldn't have said a
Listen to me.
comment. No,
Let me. I will listen to that kind of music, and I still do listen to that kind of music. But
just
when
not
we're
with
out in
you,
public,
Brendan.
not when we're out in
Just
public
not
at
with
a
you,
charity
Brendan.
event, I
Your
don't need to
music
be head.
sucks.
I don't need to be headbanging next to Tom.
But Brendan's really the only friend I've really hung out with, like in St. Louis area. But it's Madeline's parents and family events, where I go to my parents' house to go fishing or help them with like lifting heavy shit and stuff because they're getting up there in age. But
Question for
and
you.
then it's literally hanging out with Jack, gaming.
On
Yeah.
the Yeah, I haven't had a fishing license since you and I were fishing
I bought a 3 year one.
because like I don't get out and fish enough by myself. Like I'll go fishing with you, but I don't
Yeah,
go fishing by myself.
yeah.
So that's a problem because I have all my fishing stuff and I love to fish. I had fun when we fished. But I have a question about fishing. Can I buy a weekend pass
A weekend. Yeah, you can buy like when you mean a weekend pass, like do you mean
for fishing
like for a
license?
fishing license? Yeah, you can buy so in I don't know, it just depends on the state. I know in certain
Missouri.
states you can buy like a yeah, I'm pretty sure you can buy like a 3 day one.
Okay. Because we're trying to go camping this year with my mom and Tom over the weekend, 4th of July weekend, and I want to take Daisy fishing. And I know she doesn't need a license because she's under the age.
Love you, babe.
But no, Maddie,
What do you
no.
want? Is it this
What's a
one?
mom water?
She does actually.
I knew
Does it
it.
feel oh you can't have that one. That one's got kiwi, that'll kill you.
Huh?
You guys still on your
I'm
thing?
taking the
Yeah.
Jenny.
But I plan on taking if we go camping.
I'm
I
pretty
want to
sure
take Daisy
you can
fishing,
buy I think you
but
can
I don't want
buy
to buy a whole year one.
1 to 3 days.
Perfect.
But I'd have to look again. I don't fish a lot. I've never fished in Missouri other than private ponds. You don't need one on private
You've never
ponds.
been down to I need to take you down to the trout spot down there that I go
Montauk.
Montauk.
Oh yeah, I grew up going to Roaring River and I fished Montauk. But I'm saying like I lived in Missouri, so I already had fishing license. Like you have to buy day passes when you're down there. But like here when I moved to St. Louis, like my parents live in Illinois, so we fish Illinois lakes.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So I bought a 3 year Illinois one, and I'm trying to get my dad to start fishing more in Missouri.
I feel like
So
there's
I'm gonna
better
have to
fishing
buy
in
one.
Missouri. There's more parks
So
over there.
yeah, so what I hate about Missouri is like the area of St. Louis. Like, don't get me wrong, it's great, but like the only really lakes, and I'm not counting Mark Twain because Mark Twain's a hard lake to fish.
Yeah.
You have to kind of go
You have to go
south
south.
from,
Yeah.
yeah, you have to go like
Have you
North
ever
Fork,
I know
Truman.
the rivers aren't great. Have you ever fished
Yeah,
on any like the Merrimack or anything like that? Because
no, I have fished on the Merrimack, but that's with
there's a boat
my
ramp
ex
at
boss.
there's a boat ramp at I want to say it's Susan Park. If you've been to
Yes,
Susan, right
yes,
next to
yes.
Minnehaha.
I've gone off that
Okay.
ramp. That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a decent ramp. But I mainly fish for like, and I buy like a day pass for that. But it wasn't really anything crazy. River fishing's fun. I'm the type of fisherman that will just catch anything that's biting.
Yeah.
Like I only like the only time of year I specifically target a species around this time of year for crappie just to have a fish fry.
If I'm bank fishing,
Yeah,
I'll say I like to fish crappie. If I'm
crappie.
out in the water, I'll probably want to go bass.
Yes, yeah,
But my favorite fish to catch is trout, and I'll
trout.
be in the water. I'll get the
Yeah,
waders on
you'll
and
be
I'll go out
wading.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say my three favorite species to catch that are freshwater is walleye,
I've never done
crappie.
walleye, but I've never. Do you do walleye during the winter, or do you do that year round?
So like you kind of it really just depends on where you're at. Like there's been a couple like private lakes like in Mackinac, Illinois when I lived there for a little bit. You're like you've been out on that. They have walleye, some walleye in there and saugeye. Like you can fish for them year round. But most of the time it's really good like when you go up north like in the Minnesota and Canada area. The best time really is like that June, July when it's coming off that winter and it's starting to get warmer out, but it's still cool. That's when
Holy
it's really
shit.
good.
Crosby just got a diving penalty.
What a loser. That guy
Sorry, I was
sucks.
I was listening to you, but I was also watching the game.
Absolutely. Z,
I
if
hate
you ever listen
Crosby.
to this, that guy sucks. I hope your team loses. But I hope
I
they
don't
win first round.
I don't oh, they're gonna show it here. I was gonna say I don't know
Is
how
it
the
bad?
Philly guy got a penalty if Crosby got a diving penalty. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Who sold that? He dove so hard on that.
Oh,
Anyways,
see?
is fishing for walleye? So you're saying you can do it all year round in certain areas.
Yeah.
Is it because I feel like I always see like the big ones. Are they always like that? Are they always big
So,
and long, or are
so
they is like when you're fishing with bass, you know how people catch like 9, 10 pound bass,
yeah,
but I'm used to catching maybe 5 or 6 pound
yeah.
bass.
You're
Are the
catching 5 or 6
walleyes?
pounds.
You think so? The ones we
The
went to last
biggest
time?
bass, the biggest bass I've ever caught in my life was 2.5 pounds.
No way. The ones we were catching up
Yeah,
here on the
they were two
were
and a half
not.
pounds.
No
We
way.
weighed them. They were 2.5 pounds.
No way,
Yeah,
dude. My
dude. Like
internal.
you, I'm telling you right now, you're looking. Yeah, yeah. That's wrong. It's 2.5 pounds. Like the
I
five
swear we had
pounders are like
some bigger
football.
ones. We
And
had
I hate
some
to
big
say it.
ones.
Yeah, but they were like maybe three. Like when you get to that legit five and up, like you can really see it and stick your fist down its face. But
And I've always thought that one, those big ones, because we have pictures with them. I thought those were
they're like two and a half,
decent
3 pounders.
size.
Isn't that
No
crazy? It
way.
blows me away because
No
I've seen,
way.
so I've compared it with guys that fish
I'm calling them
tournaments.
5 pounders. I don't give a
Like,
fuck.
yeah, you didn't have, whatever, do what you want. You weighed them. They're 2.5, 3 pounders. And I've seen guys that caught like 7 pounds. I'll show you a photo of my dad with an 8 pounder. Like, this thing's fucking fat.
Are we
But walleye,
are we
walleye
doing
with those
tournaments?
ones,
Before you continue, are we doing tournaments when I move down there?
dude, I'll fish them.
I'll do
Dude,
some tournaments with you.
if we get investments here, all right, me and you combine our knowledge assets. I will go in a boat. I will save some money and we will go
Don't you
in
already
on a
have a
boat
boat?
together. Yeah, but I only own like half of it. It's not mine. It's my dad's.
I'll buy
I'm
the other
on
half
the
from your dad.
yeah, fuck, dude. Dude, he put down like I didn't even put down like 5%. I
Jesus.
was like, well, you have to think we've owned that boat for like almost 3 years. So like I was only
I
like
think longer than
22
that.
years.
Because
It's
you
only
bought it
like
when you're still up here, I think.
mm-mm. That was the 195.
Oh,
This
okay.
Triton we bought was when we first moved to Smithton. So like we've had it for like 2 years, almost three. Like I was only like 20 fucking 223 with like and I was making like 19 an hour. I'm gonna tell you right now, chat or Zoom. I put down $5,000 and I thought that was fucking baller. And then my dad whips out his fucking credit card and just fucking bloop blap. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Fuck. But he only did he didn't though the credit card didn't take all of it. It took like it was like way more than mine, but he also had a cashier's check. But that's what happens when you grind like that and you're not lazy like me.
Man, that's a whole other story for another time.
Fuck, dude.
'Cause that's about
I would
growing
fish some
up, and
tournaments with
I
you.
have not grown up.
Oh,
Let's be
dude,
real.
you've grown up. What are you talking about? You have a wife and two kids. And statistically and
Okay,
mathematically speaking, no, let me
I've
finish this.
physically
Let
grown
me
up.
finish
My
this.
bank
Let me
account
finish
hasn't.
this. Let me finish this. It statistically and logistically made more sense for you to stay home.
I'm not even
And the
talking about that.
fact,
I'm talking about like the
yeah,
family bank
yeah, I
account
know.
has not
Yeah.
grown up.
But it's gonna. Marissa's
It's
back in
not at
school.
this
She's
rate.
back in school.
We live
She's
week
back
by
in
week at
school.
this house, and it sucks.
You know what I cut? Like, and I know you do this too. Like, you have to do it. Like, because we're pretty similar as far as what we do and what we don't. I catch myself all the time looking at people from my fucking graduation class and seeing how far they've made it in life, and I compare myself to them, and I hate it when I do that. I
I
hate it.
think I was getting ready to end this fucking cast, but you've dove me into that.
I couldn't stop it. Came
I
out.
hate
Go
how
ahead.
much we have rented.
Yeah.
and I get it makes sense for us because Marissa's now back in school, so we don't want to live here forever. So that makes
Yeah.
sense why we haven't bought a house. I just want to own a house. I want to settle down somewhere, and it's getting tight because the kids are going to be starting
They're getting bigger.
preschools and stuff, and I want to put in roots. And you see people who are like, "How the fuck are you affording this?"
And they're
Because
the
you know what
same
they
age as
do,
you.
and it's nothing close to what it's like. How are you? So, and I think that's another reason we haven't. We talked about doing a house before we rented this one, but we didn't want to waste our first time buyer loan that you get when you buy a
Well, because
house.
you get a huge loan off of that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And so that I think that's the main thing is we're waiting.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. But yeah,
But
it sucks sometimes because I'll be 30 this year. I'll be fucking
Yeah.
30.
Something that just I fucking catch myself doing it all the time, and that's why I don't like to use like Facebook that much because I'll just like I'll do it because you can watch videos without clicking on the
Oh, we're
volume
going
or
to
something like
Fenton.
that.
Tell them we're going to Fenton.
We're,
And
we're not going to Fenton.
What?
Marissa
and
was on Zillow and looking, and she thinks we're going to Fenton now because she found a house.
she's so
Yeah,
stupid. But
it'll
I
be
catch
gone in two
myself
years.
digging myself a rabbit hole of going to people that are the same age as me and they were in my graduation class and that they are like they have like they're married, they have a family, they like are buying like their second house or something like that because
You
they
have to
had their
think
first house.
what gets me through that, and I mean, this could be life advice. If you've made it this far in the
Yeah.
podcast, this is the life advice coming from a almost 30-year-old. Look at
He's sexy.
what you've done. Like you've gone
Yeah.
around and you've traveled at least a little bit. Like in the last 5 years alone, you went from Illinois to Georgia back to St. Louis. Like you're not settling down. These people that are doing this
Yeah.
never left. And I'd rather have been out places. And that's another thing. I went right out of high school. I was in Boston,
You're
then
doing some
Michigan,
juniors, weren't you?
and then I came here. Yeah, I got to get out and do stuff. And maybe it's not
Yeah.
world traveling,
Still doing stuff a lot of
but
people don't even do nowadays.
yeah. And I have got two great kids. I'm
Yeah.
semi-happily married, and no, but when we do settle down, we plan on coming back to St. Louis, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot of those people when you're deep diving and you go back and look back on your high school life and stuff like that, and it's nothing against them. Like good for them, they're happy, but they never left. They didn't really go out and explore and do
Yeah.
stuff. Like sucks for
What
Marissa because
always Yeah.
she's sitting right here like I never left. It's like sucks to suck, but I did.
You're a fucking loser. But how I always reel myself back in, I was like, they're a different person. I've had different experiences than them. I've like you saying, like you just need to go through your checklist of all the things you've accomplished. Like you're gonna have different goals.
It's
Like this
different
this
roads and whatnot. Yeah,
yeah. Like I've experienced plenty of different stuff than they have, and
my
I
brother.
you just always catch yourself comparing. I think that's what sucks about the younger generation, like us and like people in their 30s and stuff. They just keep comparing to people they've met or seen. You just need to stop doing that. You're on your own mission, your own road. Think of all the
My
great things you've done.
yeah, my brother's not talking to me right now. Like we're on a shit because
Fuck.
shit happened. That's a whole nother story that happened in the timeline that we
Fuck.
weren't here. It's a
Shut
whole
your
nother story for
mouth.
another time.
Stop adding that.
But my
Fuck.
sister was asking for stuff the other day. I'm like, Emily,
Kind
you
of
don't
stuff.
think you can give yourself advice?
Mm.
But when I tell her, it's like, because she's finally moving to Alaska, living and growing up, she
Yeah.
always talked about going to Alaska. And Charlie is in a point in his life where he's struggling because he's not having fun doing what he's still in school. He's doing his rotations and whatnot. It's like, Emily, you have probably the best advice and the best way to talk to him because of all she went through some crap in the police department. There were people
Yeah.
who hated her, didn't want her to move on and blocked her.
Yeah.
She tried going to the Secret Service and they did block her from getting the Secret Service, but they didn't block her from joining the FBI, and the FBI has now led her to Alaska. And that's growing up. She used to talk about living in Alaska, being a secret agent. That was like her dream job. And she's not a
Yeah.
secret agent now, so don't. It's not that. But she's working at the FBI, and she's living in her favorite place in the world. And I tell her, it's like, you have the best life advice to talk to Charlie about stuff like that. You're you have a lot of fun in high school, and then you get to college, it gets a little bit more serious, but you're still having fun. And then there is a period of time where it feels like you're stuck in the mud and
Yeah.
you're not moving and you're just kind of grinding out life. But in the end, and this is why I told Emily where we talked about it, and in the end, you will get to where you want to go. There's a shit part of your life where you just feel like
You just
ass.
gotta keep going.
You
just gotta keep
you gotta
going.
trudge through it. Yeah.
It's not gonna be
That's-
smooth sailing all the time. It's just you're gonna have like it's probably gonna be like more than 1 year in a row. But like 3 years, it's just gonna be shit. But you just gotta keep chugging.
Sometimes it's longer. You just got to get yourself
Yeah.
through it. And
Yeah.
it's good stuff, though.
Yeah.
Life advice.
Life advice. That's what we're gonna end on. Is no matter whatever thing you want most
Started
in life,
with we
just
hate
keep
ESPN.
going.
Started with we hate
ESPN.
ESPN. Ending with we're your dad. Listen to
Motivation.
us. Life advice.
Motivation. Speaking. That's what we're pushing. I think that is a good note to end off of. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep talking so I know where to cut off at for another
You
couple
want
of
to say
seconds.
goodbye to everyone?
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought that was
Sorry,
it,
people.
saying
Don't
life
wanna-
advice.
Oh, okay. You can cut
Keep
it off there.
going. Chugga, chugga,
Bye
chugga, chugga.
bye.